So welcome to Science 7. Sorry I couldn't make the first class connect on Monday here, but I'm just going to go over a few things I would have gone over in my class connect. I had that science conference, so just recording this quick 5-minute video, but please ask questions if you need help this week because we're getting into the content this week, and it's a little heavier than last week for just the intro. So remember, it always opens up to announcements for class, and make sure you read these announcements. There'll be another one from me for this week. They'll at least come once a week, but any important information I will share there. Also, just to look at course information, so make sure you do that. The pacing guide for this class is constantly going to be changing because I used the one originally to set up the course that was given with the course that was kind of provided. I just set dates to it. However, there's not a lot of detail. It just tells you the things that are due that are worth points. It doesn't say work through this lesson, read through this, take notes on this like you should be doing. So I'm adding more specifics. So if you already printed this out, you may want to print it out again. Right now, I feel like I added enough detail for this week to make it more thorough. You can see there's a lot more information there Monday through Friday than I originally had if you printed it off. More than just the graded pieces. So I'm going to update that. I haven't had much time to work on it with home visits, but I'll keep updating that, so please check back. This week is totally updated. I felt like I added enough detail where you were geared to the things that you needed to do to be successful, not just the quizzes you had to take or the assignments you needed to turn in. So make sure you take a look at that. My contact information, so check that out. Class Connects, you usually would click on this link to meet, but obviously I won't be there live on today. That's why I'm making this video. Discussion board, some of you have not posted to the discussion board yet. That was an assignment that's due last week, so make sure that you do that here. And make sure you work through the orientation also. So make sure from last week you complete those assignments. Shows you how to submit things, turn things in, and then you had to fill out a survey, which I haven't had a chance to really look at those yet, but make sure you have it filled out. And then the discussion board's worth points, so make sure you definitely post to the discussion board. Then this week we're starting Unit 1, Organisms. And like I said, I added a lot more detail to the calendar, so make sure you check that out because that's a lot more helpful. The first unit kind of just introduces things. Whenever you're in this course and you have a reading thing or a lesson you need to work through, it's good to take notes. It kind of tells you here, read through lesson 1.01 to learn what we're studying in this course and how to use context clues, graphics organizers. As you work through the lesson, you'll see there's a context clues item you can save or print, and then you should use that to learn how to learn vocabulary words. Is one way to learn them. There's more than one way. There's Quizlet. There's so many different resources, but that's one way that this course recommends. Vocabulary sheets. There's always vocabulary sheets in the beginning you can print off. It's nice to have that list there just to make sure you got them down. If you like to use that context clues graphic organizer, you can use it, but you don't have to. It's up to you. Everybody learns differently. Some people prefer Quizlet or different flashcards, different things, instead of just a graphic organizer. So the next thing then, read through lesson 1.2, diversity of life, and take notes. 1.02 quiz, so make sure you know that. Read through the lesson before you take the quiz. Then read through lesson, sorry there, I gotta correct that. Not ready. Read through the lesson. 1.03, design a Madagascar organism. Take notes. Slides 1 through 9, ignore them because they're talking about how to set goals. We already did that with the Educational Development Plan, or we'll be doing it very soon if I didn't meet with you yet, or your mentor teacher. So make sure that you just ignore those slides. We're not going to submit a portfolio. However, the rest of the slides, 10 and on, you should read those carefully and take notes on them. Then you're going to do the assignment as it says in lesson 1.03. Then you read through lesson 1.04, take notes, 1.05, and then there's a graphic organizer there for you to fill out and then complete the quiz. Again, read through assignment 1.06 to get directions for the assignment. Excuse me. And then you're going to do the assignment, you're an organism, and turn that in. Then you read through lesson 1.07, living things classification, and take notes. Then submit assignment 1.08. It talks about the key and how to fill that out. If you look up I always say it wrong. I can't even, I'm not going to say it right now. Dicomitatos key. If you can look through that, and there's a lot of good examples online. I didn't feel like there's a lot of direction there, but I actually researched the key for the dog breeds, because that's what you're going to have to do, only the ones pictured. And there's a lot of good examples online. I found a very good Prezi one, so that should help you through that. And that's it for the week, and then you're going to turn in that assignment. However, I did want to look a little bit more closely to tell you how I take notes on a section. So let's say we're looking through lesson 1.02, diversity of life. You can print off the student guides. There's resources. I'll go back and show you that actually. There's student resources here. And what you can do is print off the student guides. I really like those. Student guides are there. The rest of them are within the lessons, but it's nice to print off a student guide because that's what I take notes on. So as I'm working through a lesson, for example, 1.01, actually let me turn off my editing mode so it looks more like how you would see. Okay, so 1.01, and I would write down the title of the slide and any notes about it. So life all around you, there's nothing much new here. I feel like I know all this after I watched the video, so I'm going to go on to the next slide. This is where I find the big ideas and objectives. That's kind of nice to look at. I did print that off for myself. Module checklist is okay. I don't think that's necessary to print off. The graphic organizers, whenever they give those, are pretty nice so far that I've seen. In the vocabulary list, this is where you'd print it off. So what I usually do, this is teaching you how to use the graphic organizer. So let me go into a different lesson because that's not a typical lesson. I wanted to go into diversity of life. Sorry. So I would write down the title of the slide, diversity of life, and any new information I don't know. If you know everything, you don't have to write it down. Notes are, you write things down so you can remember them later. So this one, organism, that's a very key word, a living thing. So I might want to write that down if I didn't know it. And then on the next slide, I write down large organisms, any information that's new that I should write down. So I actually write these down right on those student guides that you can print off. So when I showed you the student resources link, the materials, I would go through and print off the student guides. So that would be my note sheet for that lesson. The objectives are there, which are nice. And then down below, any open space, I just simply write the title of the slide, and I did on the back page and notes from that lesson. So that's what I would recommend. You definitely need to write notes as you work through a lesson, and that's how I go about doing it. You may have your own way. You can just use notebook paper if you want. Totally up to you. After you work through the lessons, then you have the quizzes and the assignments to turn in that are worth points. If you ever need help or you don't understand what to do, please make sure you ask. You can email me. I'll get back as soon as possible. If it's a common question, I'll post an announcement to make sure everybody gets that message. But definitely keep checking out the calendar because that's going to be updated. So if you have questions, please just ask. I feel like this is enough to get you started. And again, those are the due dates that are there on the pacing guide, and that's how they're inputted in the gradebook. You can check this in My Grades, kind of as a checklist. So once things are turned in, you can see your progress right here. So you'll see if it's submitted or not and whether or not I graded it. So this is kind of nice to look at too. But again, these are only the things that are worth points. The calendar is actually what you need to do. So make sure you keep looking at that. And if you did print it off already, I added a lot more detail for this week, and I'll be doing that throughout the week for the upcoming week. So make sure you check that often. So please don't hesitate to email me. I'm sorry I couldn't meet live this week, but hopefully this video helps. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you live next Monday.